Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today on the video I'm going to have an attempt at making some cheese from this little artisan cheese making kit that I've got. So come along and see what happens. Right, so what I got for Christmas off my parents was an artisan cheese making kit. It makes 30 different cheeses and it's from Cheese Monkey. Now in that kit it tells you how to make mozzarella at home. And that's the first one I want to start with. Have had this River Cottage book for a while. I've done Lebner, I've done yoghurt, but I've not really gone any further with the cheeses. And now I've got this little kit. It's going to give me that nudge that I needed. So within the kit, you get a cheesecloth. You get some. Let's just open it so you can see. Because you get some moulds in there. Cheese, you get some rennet, you get the cheesecloth, you get some citric acid, you get some cheese salt, a little micro spoon, and then you get this recipe book, which is great, and just basically a little bit of history about cheese and to get started. So this recipe calls for 4 litres of whole milk, not the UHT stuff, but you need like a whole milk. If you can get raw milk, that's even better, but that's quite difficult to get hold of. But if you've got a local farm who does milk, then that's even better, like I say. So that's the stuff. So what we're going to be needing is the 4 litres of milk, 2 micro spoons of rennet, 1 teaspoon of cheese salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid. And that will make us some mozzarella. Right. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get 1.5 teaspoons of citric acid and dissolve it in 250 mils of water. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon measure, so 3 of these. And I'll dissolve that. Okay, so now we need to add the rennet, and all we've got to add is 2 of these micro spoons. I'll just double check that. Get 2 micro spoons of rennet into 60 mils of water. So get the packet open. Not too sure how much this holds, this packet. My big donkey hands in there. So there's 1 little tiny spoon going in. 2. And then just mix that around. Okay, so the next step is got to add 4 litres of whole milk, warm it to 32 degrees, and then immediately take it off the heat. So let's get the milk in the pan. You're going to need quite a large pan to do this. So 4 litres whole milk. You do get a thermometer in the like the Cheese Monkey pack as well, but as I do a lot of home brewing, I'm going to be using my little digital thermometer, which will beep when we get to 32 Celsius. Okay, so we need to gently whisk until it gets to that temperature. What you've also got to do is add in that citric acid solution. So I'm just going to gently whisk. Got my temperature probe in until I get to 32. I think it's basically blood temperature. Okay, we're just coming up to 32 degrees now. What I've got to do is immediately take this off the temperature and add that rennet. Okay, so adding the 60 mils of rennet mixture. You got to stir for 30 seconds. And then leave it, put a lid on and leave it for 5 minutes to stand. And hopefully that rennet will do its job of splitting, getting the curds in the whey working, basically, getting that split on. Okay, so this is just probably about 10 minutes this has been. It says 5 minutes, I checked it in 5 minutes, you can see that line there, and it just wasn't at the point where I needed it. So what you need now is a sharp knife. And then you're just going to cut all the way down to the bottom in lines. going across, say about 3 centimetres. But there you go. This is home cheese making, so do the best you can. So once we've gone across, we're then going to cut the opposite way. You start to see curds separating from the whey. Now what they say now is a bit tricky because they want you to do like horizontal cuts, which yeah, this is my first time, so let's see if I get this right. So horizontal, best I could do. So now that we've cut the curds in the pan, we've got to now cook them, as in we've got to heat this up to about 41 degrees. So I've got my thermometer again set to 41, and whilst it's warming up, it just says gently stir. You don't want to break up the curds too much, it says. This is going to be a bit tricky. So I'm trying to stir this gently. So now we're getting to that 41 degrees. We've got to take it off heat, and then it says just continue stirring gently for 5 minutes. So now we're off the heat. I'm just going to stir gently for the next 5 minutes. So what I've got now, getting ready, is a muslin. So it's a cheesecloth, and I've lined a colander, and I've got a little plastic tub underneath there. And what I've got to do is ladle with a slotted spoon the cheese, leaving the whey behind. Okay, so something like that. So there's the curds, scooping them out the pan, putting them in the cheesecloth. I'm doing it quite gentle. I don't know, it doesn't say, but it does say not to pour it straight through. So that's what I'm doing. Just putting the curds, and I'll show you the pan once I've done off this bit. So this is the curd and whey that I'm using now from the, well, what I'm getting out from the pan and putting into that cheesecloth and colander. Actually, it's the first time I've done this. I know it seems crazy videoing it the first time, but why not? I'm sure, you know, it just helps, doesn't it, so people can see it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. Okay, so once you've drained the curds, it says then to get a bowl and put 70 degrees Celsius water in, and then you need to put your curds into the water. And what it says in the instructions here is place curds in a large bowl of very hot water, 70 Celsius. Leave until it resembles melted cheese and can easily be stretched. It should drip off a spoon when hot enough. Okay, so let's see. That's enough hot water. What I'll do, I'll use that slotted spoon again to place this into that water. Actually, the cheesecloth has moulded it. So there we go. Let's see what happens here now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add a teaspoon of, basically I've got sea salt. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of sea salt into this. And then we've got to try and, got to get your hands in. But depending on how you can tolerate that as well, because that is quite warm. We've got to try and start to mould it together, basically. So we're going to try and bring this together like you would with a dough. You're basically just going to start shaping the mozzarella. So let's see what we can do. So the idea now is that the water heat just gets your cheese to become stretchy, and you can start to basically bring it together. Like I say, it's the first time I've done this, so I don't know if this is going perfect or not, but it feels quite stretchy. And then hopefully you can start folding it over. Right, so you can see now it's becoming really stretchy. So I'm going to carry on. So what I'm trying to do is using the weight of the cheese to help me stretch. So the more I can get that to stretch, the better. But it is definitely coming together now. It's looking more and more like mozzarella to me. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm just moulding little balls of mozzarella from the warm and then putting it into the whey solution, and then you can just make as many as you like. Okay, one trick is try and get hold of your mozzarella and then squeeze it, and then you can just break it off and then just mould it into the round. So there we are. We've made basically there 4 large mozzarellas and 1 small. So you're getting 5 mozzarella balls. What I'll do, I'll weigh it and I will let you know what we got from 4 litres of milk. To be honest, there's about 3.3 litres of whey. So let's see how much of the mozzarella we got. So, hope you enjoyed that video. It seems to have been a success, I'd say so. Especially my first attempt at doing that. We're going to have this on some pizza. We're going to do some homemade dough. And what I'll do, I'll use the whey that came from this to make the dough. I may do a video for pizza in the air fryer as well, but we'll see. So I've made our own like tomato base for it and stuff. So yeah, that'll be another video. That'll be I may do a pizza base, a pizza dough video, and then do an air fried pizza video. So there's going to be a little bit of pizza stuff coming along. But first go at doing mozzarella. Yeah, I think it's worked. Pleased, I'll do it again. I might perfect that shaping, but it's not too bad. I got 600 grams in total, weighed the mozzarella. So out of 4 litres, the whey, I thought it was around about 3.3, so it must be 3.4 litres of whey, and then 600 grams of mozzarella. If you go into like Aldi or Lidl, I think it's like 125 grams works out about 89 pence, so 90 pence for 125. So you're looking at about 5 packets, 90 pence a packet. So in Aldi or Lidl or Tesco, anywhere, to get 4 litres of whole milk, it's about £3. So you'll need the Renit and the Citric Acid, which I'm sure if you're into the cheese making, you can get that and get that online from somewhere and buy that. But there is another way of doing this by using either vinegar or lemon. So I might have a go at doing that as well. But for me, it's homemade. I think it's worth it. I can now freeze that, put it in the fridge, wrap it in cling film, last a couple of days in the fridge, put it in the freezer, pull it out when you want to make pizza, or if you want to put it in a salad. So yeah, it's definitely, it's just another thing to do, isn't it? Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.